Live from the Preston Highway Studios, it's 24-hour Purple People.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to 24-hour Purple People. My name is John Harper. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you along for the ride today. Look at these guys. They're thrilled as well, and we are celebrating 100 subscribers today. We're actually at 103. Ken was 100, and Joe, Sue, and Sally 101 through 103 respectively. We appreciate that very much, and thanks for joining us here today. A episode that is going to be action-packed, maybe not as long as some of the other ones since there's not too much. We got an international break coming up for racing, but a lot of good things to talk about. A 6-point weekend, gentlemen, and I can't wait to dissect each and every one. We are tucked in and locked in for this one, and on today's program, we recap LouCity getting back on track, racing Louisville with perhaps its most resilient victory ever. And we continue to drink some Jaeger next Saturday. You guys down for some Jaeger next Saturday?
Yeah, I got a song for it.
Uh-oh. Well, that should be interesting. Well, you just heard the man joining me. First, he is the Dungeon Master, the EDM DJ. He's Kentucky bound, loaded up in truck, and it's Ken Luther. Ken, hello.
Hey, what's up? 6-point weekend. Both games are away. I am not sure. Maybe somebody out there in internet land knows if we've ever done that in the existence of having both teams. I don't think we have. So we'll just call it the first time we have.
Yeah, prove us wrong.
I would say it is the I think it is the first
time. It's got to be the first time.
It's got to be the first time. Well, it's not the first time for this man. He is my good friend. He is an author, the author of The Purple Prose, a warrior poet, a stud, a man, a lot of things. Matt Dalton.
Keep going.
Yes, he's
keep going.
First time I met Matt. Hi, Matt. How you doing today?
You know that, like, in the intro, there's like that glowing orb. There's like that crystal ball at the very beginning in the intro. I always wonder what that's going to be, and it's our logo every time. But I always, like, at the very beginning, I was like, ooh, what's it going to be this time?
Yeah.
What are we going to see in this magical seeing stone? But it's just our logo.
I like to keep you on your heels. Maybe we need to bring back Cathrodamus.
Cathrodamus, yeah.
Back in the day, that was our fortune teller on the program.
Local sorcerer.
Yeah. So a very exciting weekend, guys. We were pretty pumped up about this weekend. Both matches away, and both starting at 10 p.m. I don't really can recall a time where both matches, when both teams have been away, started at the exact same time. Usually it's like 10:15 or 10:30 or something like that. Just a few minute difference between these matches. So it was very interesting having the duel set up. I know a lot of people went out, watched the games. I had the duel set up going. I think everybody, we kind of talked about picking a way to watch these matches, and we watched or attempted to watch them both. So let's watch some highlights. Speaking of watching things, shall we, gentlemen?
Shall we?
We shall. All right. Well,
holy crap, I got right in there, didn't I?
Yeah, I got you all queued up and ready to go.
First time for everything.
Yes. Well, we were in La La Land, and here is the lineups. Ken, it's your favorite thing, the paused lineup screen. So tell us all about it.
Oh, I don't have to. This is the lineup. This is the lineup that we're starting with. We won't be next week, but we're starting with now. So, and it's certainly my favorite lineup. I think they're playing really well together.
Matt, anything on the lineup?
Synergy. I mean, yeah. I mean, this is our A number one lineup right now. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Intense match.
It's intense right now. I mean,
it was
just swaying back and forth a little bit. No, this is you press play, right, John?
Yeah. It's a really long.
Okay. All right, they gotta talk. Okay.
Right. So Elvis on the call. We know Elvis well. He actually hasn't been a horrible referee. So, in hindsight 2020, I don't think he was horrible this match either. I also thought that we out physicaled this team like we do a lot of other teams, and played really well.
The first time Elvis needs to make a decision right here.
He missed it. Yes, I know.
Yes, he did. So there's everybody who's watched soccer for any amount of time know that there's a threshold, right? Once you get to that second yellow card, or once you get inside the box, there is a fouling threshold. Now, somewhere else on the field, this is probably, I mean, that's you're going to get called for that immediately. But it's inside the box. Maybe they want a little more egregious of a penalty.
She let right go. I mean, you could have made the defense that, you know, her hand got tangled in her jersey. And again, there's a handball, but the arm was tucked up against the body. So you could also make a call that wasn't a penalty. But in this case, I think it was VAR that overturned it, or maybe he made the call. I can't remember. Here we go.
And then ball don't lie, because Flint just puts that in the lower right corner. I think it's a penalty. I mean,
I think so too. I mean, her
the
arm
arm's up
like
away.
this.
It's in an unnatural position, right? Like that's.
So there are two reasons for that penalty. One was the jersey pull, and the other one was the handball in the box. They were both basically on the same play. So I think justice was served. One way
Overall,
or the other.
yeah, okay.
Yes.
We can say justice was served. There's a corner for. I don't think that it didn't seem like LA had a lot of chances.
They did not
in the first half. I think
they did not. No.
I think we like doubled their shot total up in the first half, so we were definitely the more aggressive side.
Yeah. You know, when you look at total game stats, you're not going to see a lot from us because we had to kind of park the bus in the last 30 minutes, which we'll get to. But for the first 60, 65 minutes, I think we had the measure in this game. We had the pressure on them. We were out physicaling them quite a bit. They were not getting good, clear, concise chances. That was a good save by Bloomer, but the ball was moving fairly slow, so it's something I would expect her to make.
They did a good job to get bodies in front of that.
There's a little deflection there, too, so I think that took a little of the pepper out of the ball, and she was able to bat it away. Thankfully, into I think there was Malay there that made the clearance. I think the other major thing that is a theme, certainly in the first half, but from a defensive standpoint, is the amount of duels that Taylor Flint is winning. If you look at how many she's winning, and then sometimes we have other players that step up as well to either intercept the ball or take the ball away from another player, it is significantly more than the other teams. That was a goal. You really can't argue that one.
Yeah, great shot. Just a couple minutes from the second half whistle.
That worried me.
But yeah,
that worried me right there. When you can come out in the second half and score right away.
That
was a little concerning.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting punched in the mouth essentially, right? I mean, coming right out of the gate. This evens everything up, so it's a tie game right now. I mean, you're pretty much back to square one. So any advantage you thought you might have had coming out of the locker room, I mean, it's gone now within moments. So,
you know, she was a walk-on. She wasn't even a drafted player.
Yeah, I read a lot about her actually. Yeah.
That's
been
amazing.
A great year so far. But she's not wearing lavender, so she can go to hell.
That's right.
Also go to hell. So we could have folded here, right? Like we could have folded. But let's see what we do.
And bing.
Beautiful. Wonderful. Excellent. Stupendous.
I think they've been working on that quite a bit because we've had a lot of corners that have gone to the far side.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess it was Sonis that nodded it back to Sears, who did a little bit of a looper into the goal. That is certainly something. And she was wide open. That was Peterson, right? Wide open.
Emma had a really good shot in the first half that just went a little bit wide. So I'm glad she found the back of the net.
And then that look
at that
pass from Kayla Fisher to a wide open streaking Savannah DeMello is exactly how you want to do it.
Yeah, I could watch that for every game for the remainder of the season, please.
That was good. 3-1 up against LA. That was good. I felt really good about where were we at this point.
2 goals in 3 minutes.
Yeah. Scoring at will almost.
Yeah. We
Another
definitely looked the
angle of
better
it.
side up until which I'm assuming our next point in the highlights
And there it
will
is.
showcase what happened.
All right. So can you
Up
pause
until
it?
now, we have looked the better side for sure. We've definitely looked hands down. I think the better team.
So she's laying on the ground. I didn't even know why she was laying on the ground. I was like, what happened? Did she just run into somebody? I didn't even see it because it wasn't anywhere near the play. Did you see it when it initially happened?
I was watching, so I had LouCity up on the big screen and then racing on the small screen. So no, I didn't see it initially at all.
I was watching on an iPad in the hotel room, so I didn't see it at all. Had no idea
Mr.
that
Hotel
happened.
Man.
Well, I was in Michigan. And when they showed the replay and the official Elvis was going to go over and check out the VAR, I knew exactly what was going to happen. I knew it was going to be a straight red. I figure Kayla's going to get a 3-game suspension for a straight red. It was one of the dumber things I've seen one of our players do in a very long time. Maybe not.
Yeah,
maybe the dumbest.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, there's nothing to argue here, right? I know that we talked a little bit earlier, and John alluded to some sort of controversy, but I mean, that's a straight red. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really. They should have even looked at it this long. I mean, she put her hands in her hair and pulled her hair. I mean,
I don't think there's any argument over whether it's a straight red or not.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a record.
I think the debate is should Kayla get more than 3 games, which is what you're going to get. I think that's the rule. At least it used to be the rule. Should she get more than 3 games?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, we're a little biased, but I agree.
I would say so. Yeah.
I think that's a straight red 3 card. There's a lot of what do you say, hyperbole of Angel City fans that may, I've read comments like violent monster and she should be banned from the season and that is way a lot too much. We've had a player that I think it was year 1 or 2 for racing that pulled a ponytail and she got a straight red. She got 3 games. I think the NWSL has been fairly consistent about that, unless there's mitigating circumstances like there was with Ari Borges. I think that's what's going to happen. What irks me is that it had nothing to do with the play. It was just a really bad decision.
Yeah, you can't see the ball anywhere in this frame. I mean, yeah, there's
nope. You just see Taylor Flint going up like a salmon coming out of the water.
I don't. Yeah, it's not any more than 3 games. Yeah, I mean the suspension is deserved, and it was violent. I'm not really. It was unnecessary. I'm not sure why she did it, but it's 3 games. It's pretty standard.
Meets the definition.
Do you think when the office got the VAR call to Elvis, he said, "Thank you very much"?
I think it was something like that. Yep, absolutely.
You're welcome.
Kayla knew it. She was like, she just walked off. No argument. She's gone. She knew it.
Last night I watched a guy get a staple in his tongue during a wrestling match. So like this doesn't really faze me. This is not a big deal at all, really.
Okay. I don't want to know about the staple in the tongue.
Yeah, he won the match though. Spoilers. He won the match.
Look at this. Look at this lady right here. Boy, she is really excited about that red card.
My goodness.
Yeah, that was.
I think I read quite a bit, and we'll talk a little bit after the replay here. But yeah, people were kind of up in arms about it. Making it now? I think here there might have been just a little bit of purposely a lot of head swinging going on. I think she still was selling that just a bit. There wasn't too much of a grip, but anytime you put that hand up in that area,
I would sell it. Yeah, I get it.
Oh, definitely.
So when a player does something like that to another player, and whether or not the other player sold it or not, there's usually some things in the game that have happened before that. Remember that World Cup, Zidane, when Zidane headbutted the Italian player right in the chest? He didn't just do that because he thought that would be a good idea at the time. Just like I don't think Kayla Fisher did that because she thought it would be a good idea at the time. The Italian player was like pinching Zidane's nipples on set piece plays and saying things about his mother and doing all kinds of things. So there I don't know. I'm just saying it's possible that there were some things that had happened beforehand. Now, didn't Kayla get in an altercation with LA last year? She pushed a player into the boards or something like that, and I think
sounds familiar.
Yep, I think she did. So there's not a lot of love between these teams, and there was probably some things going on before this play, and she just made a bad decision. And
Bloomer was an outstanding defensive play there, and
yes, for sure.
Right back to a corner from LA.
I think, I mean, we're going to sort of wrap this up, I guess, but we had to, this is 23 minutes we were down to 10 players, right? We had to kill this game.
Yep.
Which we did successfully.
Yep.
Bev mentioned after in the presser that they've sort of grown into a team that other teams don't want to play, and that's kind of racing's identity. And I think that kind of goes along with what you were saying. I mean, we're a scrappy team. I mean, this kind of stuff. I mean, we shouldn't scrap to this level to where we're getting red cards and getting thrown out of the game. But I mean, we're going to be a physical team.
Yeah, we are a physical team. We're high press, heavy mental press, physical team. Getting a straight red for something like that is just, it's not good. No. Picking up yellows, getting warnings, the whole purpose of the yellow card. I'm fine with that. Being physical, I'm fine with that too. Being reckless, maybe not, but certainly being tough, I'm okay with. In this case, player made a mistake. She's going to pay the price. The team is going to pay the price for 3 games because she is an integral part of our high press. So now we have to play without her, most likely, for the next 3 games. So that hurts the team too. So I think Kayla owes some people some bagels or some beers or something for that momentary loss of judgment.
Bagel sounds good, actually. Yeah. These two teams, total of 5 goals, same amount of goals we scored last time, except it was the opposite way. And Racing picking up the victory this time against Los Angeles, Angel City. So very positive win, like I said at the top of the show. I think probably the most resilient victory for Racing in its history. Just absolutely. And Matt, you said in the first half the stats were in our favor. The stats of this game at the end were pretty even. So that just shows you how hard Angel City was fighting to get that equalizer there at the end. The stoppage time at the end of the game seemed like it went on forever. Of course it is. When your team is in that situation, it feels like it went on forever. But yeah, all around just a lot of positive vibes coming out of the Racing side of things right now, and it's just great to see.
Yeah, any other year, I think any other previous year, I wouldn't have thought we would win that game. At most tie it. But this year, I felt like we had enough grit to see that one through, and we did.
The team seems
nervousness at the end.
The team seems more together this year than they have been in years past. To me, like in order to win those kinds of games, especially when you're down a player, like it's important to kind of rally around. You've got to cover everybody else's back in the trenches like this, right? So, I mean, I think they're closer as a team this year than they have been in years past, and I think that's helping them out a lot.
I've got just a short video here. This is courtesy of Racing Online. I'm sure they posted this in multiple places. This is a little inside the huddle at the end of the match. Just wanted to kind of share the joy here. I know you gentlemen can appreciate this.
Hell yeah.
Just absolute joy on the Racing side of things.
That's a hard-fought victory on the road. 16,000 in Angel City. I mean, you've got a lot of opposition in that building yelling at you. I want to see more of this.
They beat them. I mean, there's no, in my mind, we clearly were the better team on the pitch. So
I love Coach Bev. Always has to at least get one F-bomb in there in the post-game shenanigans. So that was good to see. Racing making us proud. And now the ladies are going on international break. We have some international players going to their respective countries out there. Who we got? Emma Sears.
Emma Sears for the United States. We've got Angela Barone for Colombia. Ari Borges getting the call up for Brazil. Let's see who else. Uchenna Kanu for Nigeria. Janine Sonis for Canada, and Ellie Pikiyamza for the Finns. Finland.
There you go. International duty calls, and I know these two gentlemen have been banned from any kind of international things, but despite of that, they are not banned from checking out some Louisville City highlights. Louisville City also found themselves out in California, up in Monterey.
They know how to party.
Bay. They sure do, up in Monterey. A team that we were, coming out of the Hartford match, Monterey was setting it forth. Just not a great run of play recently for them. We thought, hey, is Coach Cruz going to turn this thing? I don't want to say turn it around, but coming out of that match, we all had some not so pleasant taste in our mouths, and definitely Coach Cruz did, and he expected a lot of this club at Monterey, and I think he got it. Let's see.
yeah, I think.
Whoa, that's not it.
That's not it. You'll get it figured out. But the first time we played Monterey, they came to our house and they beat us 2-0. Y'all remember that one?
Oh, do I?
We had this brand new team from California coming in. They come into our house in 2022 and they beat us 2-0. So that's a little stink I wanted to get off us, which we did, because we've now
Rhode Island-esque.
Yes, very Rhode Island-esque. We've now beaten them 3 times in a row. Once in their house, once at our house, 4-1 by a lot, and then of course we just beat them 2-0 at their house. So all good.
Spoilers, guys.
What do you think of this lineup?
Obviously, moving things around a little bit. Is this the correct lineup? Yes, this is. So Lawson there late. So lineup-wise, initially, Fondez was set to start.
Yep.
He was a late scratch. Yeah, and warm-ups, I believe, is when he got injured. So this is the correct lineup. But that's sort of the notification I got. Yeah.
That's strange to me. Why was Fondez getting the start over Loss?
Yeah, so Loss was healthy and on the bench, right? Weird.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he needed the night off or just rest. Maybe Fondez getting reps with the first team and with some actual game minutes. I really don't know the logic, but Loss has to play anyway, so.
Okay. Yeah.
We're also missing Goodrum, Philip Goodrum, who was a scratch from the 18. I'm not sure what the deal is, what the prognosis is.
I think he was hurt earlier in the week, because I want to say that Coach Cruz had indicated that Goodrum was having a problem in one of the kind of midweek interviews that he did. So it sounds like he didn't even make the trip.
Yeah,
he said he picked something up.
He picked up something, all right. Gleedle and Ombi also, of course, not available.
Running out of forwards.
So what we're doing kind of is we're having we're rotating our number 9s at the top of the pitch with Wilson and Perez rotating into that kind of number 9 position. But we're really kind of, I think, playing like I want to say a 3 in the back with 2 wing backs, 2 holding or box to box mids, and then forwards that are rotating across the top.
That sounds right. Yeah, that sounds right to me.
Yeah.
You were confident when you said it, so I'm going to go ahead and believe you.
If you say it with confidence, it must be true. Yeah, so definitely putting them under pressure very early on, getting their keeper all mad and whatnot.
Campazano, we're gonna talk about him a lot in these highlights, because Nico Campazano put on a show.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, So this guy can go to hell too.
That was one hell of a save right there too.
Yeah, he's gonna make quite a few of those. A lot of pressure again by the we're up to up until the 20th minute or so, which we'll see shortly.
So what you're saying is maybe the score should have been higher?
Yeah, for sure. There's another Hackett goal.
We had a lot of good opportunities and finally got one down here in a second, but
and that's what we're all waiting for is this one highlight. This is the setup here. We've got Monterrey, we can't get anything past their keeper, right? We can't hack it past them. So they're going to go ahead and just kind of help us out, right? So a miscommunication in the back there gifts us a corner kick.
Yep, it was set piece after set piece after set piece at this point. As to how much pressure we were putting on them.
Yeah.
We got Dottie taking the set piece. Yeah. And first goal of the night.
That short side corner, it's really, really hard. And, John used to score a ton of goals off corners. And I want to say the last year or so, he let up a little bit. I think he was our leading scorer a couple of years ago, partially from things like that and partially from penalty kicks. But in this case, he has done a lot of that. And that is a really, really hard ball for the keeper to keep out because it happens so fast and it comes at that very quick angle.
Yeah. He was definitely tucked in and locked in. Actually, the ESPN Plus commentary, obviously the home commentary team, he said, "Oh, he's tucking in the jersey. You know what that means?" I'm like, "Well, he's always tucked in, but okay, we'll take it."
My guy stays tucked. All right,
get
on his level. He stays tucked. So we've got a bevy of corners, a bevy of crosses in the first half. Right, we got 10 corners. I think 7 total successful crosses. I think shots wise, what do we have? We had 10 shots in the first half, 6 on frame. But we're going to go into the locker room just up 1-0, right? Should have been a lot more, you would think.
And we're just coming up the middle of the pitch, too. We're just putting it right down their throat. It's good stuff right there.
Really strong half of attacking football. But Campuzano, I mean, he honestly, I want to say he stole maybe 3 goals from us in that half. We really should have been up by a lot more. And I believe, if I'm not wrong, Campuzano is in. I think he's save percentage. I think he's tops in the league, something like that. So, I mean, this is in keeping with what he does game in and game out.
He does lead the USL in saves. I'm almost sure of.
Yeah, but as we explored that with Katie Lund, that's not necessarily a stat that you want. Kind of means
that's
your
that's
defense is wanting.
You're letting him down.
Yeah, they may well be. Let's see, goalkeeping. Campuzano.
First half yellows from Louisville City. If you can believe it, Kevin Lambert did get a yellow in the first half. Also, Amadou Dia.
Shocking.
Can't believe
Look
it.
at that chip. Look at that chip.
It's another setup from a bad play in the back from Monterey Bay.
Yep. 2 crucial mistakes, no doubt. No doubt. But it led to good things.
We're having trouble getting past their keepers. So, and then what is that dance called, John? You do a lot of dances, right? You do a lot of like TikTok dances.
Well, I do have a really good TikTok channel, yes. But Ken, fill us in here. You know how to dance.
I don't know what that dance.
You're a dancer, Ken. Yeah, that's what
I'm an old person. I got the sprinkler and the shopping cart and the baseball. Yeah, sprinkler. You don't know the sprinkler? Really?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what that goal was. That was the stanky leg. That's what that was right there.
Yeah, a little bit.
You got that right.
I don't know what I meant by that anyway. So yeah.
I mean, when your dance is on slow mo, you know you've made it.
Yes. The other thing I really like that is emerging about Louisville City is the goals are continuing to come from a variety of individuals, which makes defending and shutting down certain people on a team harder, because when you have a lot of people across from forward to back, from the forward line to the back line scoring, it makes defending against us that much harder.
To play devil's advocate, though, I mean, when you're scoring by committee there, it's you don't have like that one player you can, rely on. But
no. And when's the last time we had that? I would argue that Wilson Harris wasn't even. Wilson Harris wasn't even a player that could consistently score all the time. He did get, I don't know, 14 goals in a season, something like that. But that's to be the person that's scoring the goals as the number 9. That's relatively low, especially for a team that has scored as many goals as we have. Yes, I think Cam Lancaster was the last player that was the person that you could rely upon to score goals consistently. It's not like we have a long history. I mean, the only other person would be Matt Fondy.
Yeah, and that was for one season.
Yeah, but that was a lot.
It was enough. Yeah,
it was enough. I think good dominance from the midfield as well. Again, Taylor Davila is earning his pay. He's also, I guess, I hadn't really seen him interviewed before. He's also quite the confident player, if you've ever heard him in an interview before, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but he certainly proves his worth day in and day out in the center of the pitch there. Yep.
Great I wish we could have had that one. When a keeper gets off his line, you want to make him pay. It's always a good feeling. This was, I guess, the really big, the big mark against this game was Ray was kind of hobbled after this. Mm-hmm. He actually ended up getting subbed off before the end of the match.
Not good.
We're running out of forwards.
We're running out of players.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess this is another game where we didn't have a full bench. We only had 4 players on the bench. Probably because we lost our keeper right at the beginning of the game. But,
yeah, that's a big reason.
We would have had a full bench if not Fondes hadn't gone down. But still, this is becoming a problem. Again,
I want to say that we used our entire bench aside from maybe Josh Jones as well.
We did. Nope, Jones wasn't on the bench.
I think that this game overall, I think we've had some really high peaks in play this year. We've also had some not so great lows, but this was sustained, right? We got this was a more complete game. I think they played from beginning to end. We had more sustained energy throughout. We didn't really lose a lot of steam in the second half like we have in previous games. So I just think a good win on the road. We're right back up there in the mix on the table. This is what we needed, right, on the road.
Yeah, I think so. This is exactly all is forgiven for that poor performance in the last game.
Yes,
for this.
Yeah, it was good to see Louisville City get back out on the front foot and getting back to business in the USL Championship.
We're so it's so skewed, right? Because we haven't lost a game yet. We're still right? All right, we're back on track. Like,
yeah.
2 or 3 games without a win, and now we're back on track. Like,
and I don't even catch myself doing it. It's something I actually meant to bring up last week on the program, but I didn't after that Hartford draw. We are such a fortunate fan base to have these kind of expectations for our club, and I think something too is that trickles over all the way up to Coach Cruz. He has high expectations, but we are, I hate using the word spoiled because I think we all appreciate just how good this team has historically been. But yeah, it's weird when you look at it and we're the only team without a defeat in North America soccer. And we're like, oh, well, the train's running again,
Yeah, I think another way to put it is high standards, super high standards. So,
Yep.
We're a fan base that has watched this team for the past 10 years. And we've seen a lot of really, really good soccer, especially for the USL. So when we see our team play poorly, we know it. And I think not only does the team and the coaching staff have high standards, but I think the fan base has really high standards as well. And I like the format of this show right here because we're not afraid to call out a player or call out the team when they do poorly. But in this case, both teams played really well. So super happy.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Matt, Louisville City, 10 of 17 shots were on target, 13 corners, generated a lot of offensive power, and also delivered Monterey Bay's first defeat at home of the season. They're now 4-4-4. Louisville City only sets a couple of points behind Charleston that picked up a victory against Detroit this weekend. But we should switch from USL Championship to another function of the USL. It is time once again to drink Jaeger and maybe hold off a little bit on the bourbon next Saturday. It's time once again to play Loudoun, only this time it's in our nation's capital, or right outside of the nation's capital, as we head up to Loudoun to face them again. Matt, I know you are so excited as you're a big fan of Jägermeister. I'll start with you with this matchup. A 6 p.m. kickoff at Loudoun, a team that we are tired of talking about, but we will once again, I suppose.
I'm so sick of Loudoun. I'm so sick of Loudoun. 6 o'clock kick, which is weird, right? I don't know what that's about. I don't know if we're trying something with the Jägermeister Cup. I don't know. I don't make the times. Anyway, Loudoun, since they played us last in league play, they won 3 of their last 5. Here's the thing about Loudoun, right? They're a good team. Like they're third in the table. They were above us for a pretty good stretch until just recently, this week. They're a good team. We've beaten them twice. We just happen to match up really well against them, and I think that we're talking about like biases and having skewed perspectives. We have a skewed one on Loudoun. They actually are good. It's just that we play really well against them. We match up well against them. They like to have the ball. We like to take the ball from people who have the ball, so it really works out well. We're leading our group right now in the JagerCup. We'll go over. I'm assuming we're going to go over standings and all that a little bit later.
We can look at some standings.
Okay, we'll go over sort of what the group looks like. But we're leading our group right now, and if we can stay within those winning ways, fantastic, great. But we need to think about goal differential as well in case of ties. So it's not just scoring here; it's about how much you score. So that's kind of got to come into it as well. All that being said, though, the more that we play Loudoun, the more they become familiar with our style and how we're going to play them, the better off they are. The familiarity only breeds good things for Loudoun.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of playing them 4 times in a season.
Yeah, it's hard to beat a team that many times.
It is. I guess it was inevitable because we're playing them in the Jägermeister group. So 1 home and 1 away. We're playing them in the regular season, 1 home and 1 away. So that's 4. It just, Loudoun is usually lousy. They're usually bad.
Yeah.
So in this case, the luck is, and they were pretty good last year too. So it's a little bit harder. We are playing away. We've got a week of rest after some travel. And we have a fairly lengthy injury report going on, especially with those people that need to score goals for us. So I'm a little worried about this, although, again, going back to the high expectations and the high standards, we are a better team than them. Our bench players are a better team than their starters are. So I see no reason for us not to win. And we would like to see lots of goals, just like Matt said, so that we can keep ourselves at the top of the group of the Jägermeister Cup.
Yeah, and here is some of these cups.
So the format, right? So we've got
talk about this.
We've got 6 groups. Okay, so the 6 groups. So the winner of each group will advance to the knockout stages. Right. Every team in all these groups, they play a total of 4 times within the group. 2 home, 2 away. And at the tops, the winners from the group move on, along with 2 wild cards. So you'll see in yellow next to those numbers there. We've got 2 wild cards that are also going to move on to the knockout stages, and those are decided via goals scored, not goal differential, goals scored. So should we finish second in the group, but we score more goals than every other team, we're going to go through to the knockout rounds. Obviously, you want to win your group, and we really should win our group. But there's still ways to get in without doing that.
Yeah. And then they do a draw after that, right? I don't want to lean too far forward, but it's a draw with anybody, right? They're not going to do regionalism after that, or
I don't think so. No, I think it's they redraw, they reseed everybody. Yep.
Yeah, that's when it kind of gets interesting, because a lot of teams in our group we play a lot because just for local proximity. Granted, we don't play Charlotte or Richmond all that much, but the other teams, Lexington, North Carolina, and Loudoun, we play all the time. I'm getting kind of sick of playing them. So I would love for us to win the group, get a draw, and get a home game with somebody we never get to play, like a USL one team, like South Georgia, or somebody from the West, one Knoxville, or Tulsa coming to town would be awesome, because got a lot of ties to their coaching staff. So that would be fun. We're just playing AV Alta, some team like that. That's what I'd love to see. So we'll see.
I know Tormenta's group. I know Tormenta, South Georgia, is in the lead in their group, but they're also in that group with, I believe, Charleston. So that's going to be kind of a tough road. But
FC Naples, that's a really good USL 1 team, probably the best USL 1 team. Miami, who's kind of good this year, weird. And Tampa Bay, who's dismal. Greenville and Charleston's at the bottom of their group, but they've only had 1 game. I fully expect Charleston to win their game and go up in the standings, because Charleston is too good of a team to be at the bottom of Group 6.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay had a draw at Lexington over the weekend. If that just tells you how bad Lexington is.
Woof.
Yeah, Tampa Bay is terrible.
Pretty bad. Yeah, I'm excited about getting back in this JagerCup. You know, we were a little bit bummed after the Open Cup dismissal, and this is another opportunity to play in an event that is new to the league. This is the first year, of course, having the USL Championship sides in the contest, and yeah, we might not like Jaeger, or we might have disagreements on the actual beverage, but we can all agree that the JagerCup's going to be great. Just I'm sick of Loudoun too. I'm sick of playing them. I really am. Plus, they're good. I don't want to play good teams. I want to play really bad teams.
Yeah, bad.
If they were dog shit, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We'd be like, yeah, we're playing Loudoun again, boys. Let's
just make it happen. Let's make it happen. Yeah. But we were, we felt pretty good coming out of the weekend, a 6-point weekend, as we talked about. And it was definitely exciting. I know you guys have been, what we're recording this evening, it's Memorial Day, a typical time for traveling. Ken, you just got back. How's the family? How's the mom doing up there? Doing well?
It was the celebration of my mom's 90th birthday.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday.
You would have, her birthday was a couple months ago, but this is when we could have all the family from all over the country come in and celebrate that. And then I had a niece that had eloped with her boyfriend and gotten married and somehow got knocked up. I'm not sure which happened before the other, but we also celebrated that. That's why it happens. This is the thing. So nice to see all the family. And I count Ohio State troopers on my way there and way back. So I had 5 Ohio State troopers on the way up to Michigan, and on the way back there were 11. But traffic through Cincinnati was amazingly nice coming back. So no real complaints with that trip. And then
hell yeah,
Michigan was a balmy 52 degrees the whole time.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. The great white.
Matt, did you do anything fun over your weekend?
Nothing. I did absolutely nothing over the weekend, and it was wonderful.
Bingo. I I actually had some fun over the weekend. I went I visited Mom last week as well. Ken, I also visited my mom. I installed a bird feeder, and then I drove back. Yes, and then I drove back. Friday, we went to Kings Island. I don't know if I talked about that. They have a really fast roller coaster there. Orion's a new roller coaster. It's a giga coaster. There's less than 10 in the world. I don't know what the qualifications are, but that thing was intense.
A giga coaster.
A giga coaster went 91 miles
Okay.
per hour. You know, it'd been like 7 years. It was pre-COVID last time I rode a roller coaster. I was a little scared, gentlemen. I was a little scared of that. But it went well. And then we went to Cubs and Reds Friday night. The Cubs made a very, very good comeback. They were down at one point. Oops, that was Ken. They were down, I think, 6 runs at one point and won the game. So that was really exciting. And it kind of there's a picture there. It kind of reminded me of something. Yeah, I talk a little bit about baseball.
They play in a baseball stadium.
They play in a baseball stadium. Can you
Kill.
believe it? I know. Yeah, losers.
Come
right?
on.
The mound doesn't even go down; it just stays up
Right.
the whole time. We talked about it earlier, just having a high standard, and right now, guys, there is some historic losing going on in Major League Baseball. The Colorado Rockies. Okay. Today, actually, they lost in a afternoon match at Wrigley Field, no less, to drop to 9 wins and 45 losses.
Okay,
It
so
is-
a few games off the pace. Yeah.
A
Okay.
few games off the pace. It's I guess the standings here. It is the worst 50-game start in modern history. It's only the second. It's the second worst start in the history of baseball, which dates all the way back to like 1870 something. I don't know. Nationally, yes, they are the worst team in baseball. They are 23 and a half games back. Yeah. So
Damn.
it kind of pulled into
Lexington ST of baseball.
yeah. It kind of pulled things into perspective for me just a bit. Like, wow, there is bad starts and there's bad teams, but this is really bad. Really, really bad. Okay.
Can I tell a story about roller coasters?
Oh, sure. We got time.
Okay. So back in the 80s, I went on a double date to Cedar Point with a friend of mine and 2 girls. This is the 80s. I don't know. You all probably don't remember the 80s, but I remember the 80s. This is a very important time for this story. So we went to Cedar Point, and they had just unveiled this new roller coaster. I can't remember what it was called, but the hill was so tall that you couldn't see the bottom, and it went like 110 miles an hour, something crazy like that.
Whoa.
I know. It was crazy. So it was absolutely, I was 18 years old, I think, at the time. So it was the first ride that we got on. So we got on the ride with these 2 girls, and we go to the top, we go through the roller coaster, and afterwards I look over at this girl I had gone on a date with. And the thing about the 80s is the girls used a lot of hairspray back then, like a lot, like a whole can of hairspray, Aquanet or whatever it was. And the roller coaster was so fast that her hair had just become a new shape, like a cone coming off the back of her head. It was the funniest thing.
The Bride of Frankenstein is what we're talking about, right? Where it's like the
Yep.
straight back.
That's a straight up 80s
Wayne
hairspray right
static.
there.
I'm
Meet the roller coaster.
I'm very impressed that you remember such a thing, but that must have been.
I'm impressed that you remember the 80s.
That's right. I was there. I was wearing an Iron Maiden t-shirt. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, your wardrobe has definitely upgraded over
Yeah,
the
it's
years.
definitely gotten a lot better. Don't you think?
Oh, absolutely.
Or
absolutely.
at least a lot more flammable. What is
Yeah.
that made of?
I don't want to know.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that was pretty funny. I enjoyed that story very much. Yeah, I was a little worried about riding a roller coaster because it'd been so long. I was like, oh, I've got no. And I mean, we started with like something small, slow, and then we We
Like, oh, all the heart can handle this, so I can go up to a bigger roller coaster now.
yeah, yeah,
It's not like
exactly.
you have to do anything, right? You just sit there, right?
You just sit there. You see,
Yeah.
I'm one of these people. I couldn't get on the teacups, like the spinning around things.
Oh, no,
I
no, no, I don't
cannot
like the
do
spinning
those.
stuff.
But
Mm-mm.
put me in a death cart and shoot me out at 90 miles per hour. I'm ready. But
Yeah, yeah. If it's gonna simulate a grizzly death,
the
yeah, I can do it. But if
the
it's teacups, no.
no, absolutely not. But anyway, all right, gentlemen. Well, I guess we have talked long enough. It was a 6-point weekend. I'm just going to keep on saying a 6-point weekend. It's so good to have a 6-point weekend. We love that, and we hope that you loved that as well and loved this program today. Episode 9. Can you believe it? 9 episodes. We really appreciate all the support out there. If you haven't yet, we appreciate you hitting the like button as well. And I know those guys appreciate it as well. We will be back again next week for more talk. We got a double header at home, Friday night and Saturday night, Pride nights for both squads. It's going to be a lot of fun and action-packed, exciting weekend. I'm already excited about soccer. It feels like it's been forever since a home game, but it hasn't. But it just kind of feels like it.
I think tailgate both nights.
Yeah.
Just go. Maybe I'll just camp out in the lot.
There you go. Go big or go
Yeah,
home.
camp out.
Yeah, you can get some good shadow from that bus as well. So, so gentlemen, any closing thoughts, Matt?
No.
Ken, any closing thoughts from you, sir?
I want to congratulate both teams for job well done. Check. Went out to California and lit that place on. No, I can't say that either. Can I? Nope. Won both games. Good work.
Yep.
Oh, I want to add one thing. Earlier, when you asked me what I did this weekend, what I should have said was I also visited both of your moms. But I couldn't fit that joke in then, and now that it's passed and doesn't make as much sense, I want to go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you.
Fit this in there, buddy.
Yeah, there you go.
Fit that one in
for you.
Yeah. Wow, he deserved it. He absolutely deserved it. Well, I think that's a good way to close today's program with Matt on a red card. Those tallies are being tallied by the 24-hour commission over here in New York. Wherever. From the Preston Highway Studios for Ken Luther, Matt Dalton. I will see you next time, and they will too. I'm John Harper. We're 24-hour Purple people, and we love you guys. Thanks a lot. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.